you know, tariffs, not my favorite thing. But he has to use them in order to achieve the goal of leveling the playing field and bringing down these barriers that we just talked about and creating fair, equal trading conditions to help the American country.
White House economic advisor Larry Kudlow telling Stuart Varney on this first full day of President Trump's tariffs going into effect on Canada, the European Union, and Mexico, that it's not a war yet. It's more like a, quote, discussion. But the American Petroleum Institute doesn't see it as a discussion at all. The energy group put out a rare swipe at the president's policy, saying these tariffs could hurt American energy production, jobs, and could raise costs on American consumers. 77% of steel we use for pipelines is imported. So, the API wrote, why raise costs on consumers? We are joined now by the API Vice President for Regulatory and Economic Policy, who helped craft that statement, Kyle Isakower, along with Stephen Gallagher, Chief U.S. economist at one of the biggest banks in the world, Societe Generales. Kyle, I will begin with you. The president has been very supportive of your industry, the energy industry. So I'm guessing you guys did a lot of research before coming out with this very strong statement, correct?
Well, sure we did, and we've looked very closely at this issue. You know, we're a very important issue to our nation's economy. We support 10.3 million American jobs, many of those jobs in the domestic steel industry. We use steel throughout our industry, whether it's in pipelines, in the wells themselves, the steel that goes down in the well, the refineries, terminals, you name it. So we use an awful lot of steel. And in our industry, we have a great deal of steel that we do import, specifically because the domestic steel manufacturing industry does not have the capability of either producing steel to the quality that we need, that the specifications for specific uses, or can't produce the quantity of steel we need
well,
for
maybe
certain applications.
Does that not then play into the president's argument that if we are to have a secure and safe nation during, say, for example, wartime, this is his argument, that we do need to start buying more steel from U.S. companies and give them that money to then grow so that if the chips are down at some point, we're ready here in the country? Do you see it like that at all?
Well, we have a need today for steel. So the idea that the domestic industry is going to grow is a great one, and we certainly support a growing domestic steel industry. But currently, they do not have the capability of meeting all the needs. Again, you take, for example, large diameter pipe. There are very few manufacturers here in the States that can actually produce pipe at scale that are really large diameter. Similarly, for our LNG facilities, we have a need for cryogenic steel. You know, those LNG facilities, they cool natural gas down to you know subcritical temperatures so that we can liquefy it and transport it. That is not necessarily available here in the United States. That has to be imported. And in fact, we import that directly from EU manufacturers, the very countries that were affected by today's action.
Stephen, you work for a European bank, Societe Generale in France. Tell me, though, from a standpoint, how you look at things, which is not political. You're looking at the landscape and you're trying to figure out what happens economically globally. What do you see from these tariffs now on both sides?
Okay. I mean, you can't take politics out of this. I mean, it's just absolutely impossible. And there's a lot of negotiations, and politics are certainly part of it. But from the tariffs we see now, and even the retaliation coming from others, if we knew that was it was the end point, I don't think we'd have dramatic effects for the U.S. economy. Certainly the ones that are buying steel, you know, the energy companies that are buying steel, they're going to be negatively impacted or suffer the rise in steel prices.
Well,
but for the whole economy, it's not going to have much of an impact.
So when the Chamber of Commerce yesterday came out and said 2.6 million jobs are going to be lost, you don't see that?
No, not from the size of the tariff increases that we've seen so far. Absolutely not. There are risks that we see is that the ongoing retaliation, you know, Trump's already threatened to retaliate against the retaliation. And we don't have any size on that. We don't have any magnitude to put in our models. But that unknown risk is what we're most concerned about. So we're not saying it's not a problem, and it's certainly disruptive in small sectors. But from what we know, the tariffs that we know, the retaliation that we know, it's not a big economic effect.
Kyle? Let me play devil's advocate here. The president is right on certainly one aspect of what we would see as an asymmetrical relationship when it comes to tariffs with the European Union. When our cars go into their country, they are subject to a 10% tariff. When foreign cars from the European Union come into the U.S., it's a mere 2.5%. What the heck is wrong with him demanding that it just at least be equal?
Well, there's nothing wrong with demanding equal treatment. However, I think you have to look more reasonably about the impacts, the direct impacts to the industries like ours, like the energy industry. The president has established a goal of energy dominance. He wants to not only boost the American economy, but also save American consumers money by driving down the price of fuels by producing more. And we've been doing that in our industry. And he also wants to use energy as a geopolitical tool as we export more energy. And we are beginning to do that both with oil, refined products as well as natural gas.
Sure.
The problem now is that if you're adding costs and reducing our ability to access steel that we need to grow our infrastructure, that's actually working at cross purposes with this idea that we're going to be producing more and being able to assert energy dominance here in America and across the world.
Stephen, you talked about if things remain as they are right now when it comes to these tariffs, you don't see it having a huge impact. However, does this not put NAFTA, the North American Free Trade Agreement with Mexico and Canada, in peril? We don't have a deal just yet to modernize that. It does need modernizing, but Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is steaming. He is very upset. He has specifically said, we're no threat to you. We are not a security threat. We're your closest ally, and it's ridiculous to imply that. Where do you see the relationship with Canada going?
Well, it's Canada, certainly. They're definitely one of our closest allies and one of our biggest trading partner. But it's all our allies. I think, to me, there's a legitimate gripe that the U.S. has against many other nations when it comes to tariffs and free trade and a level playing field. I think I'm totally on board. But I think we got to do it one step at a time. We're attacking all of our allies, all of our trading partners at the same time. And what I think we need to be doing is embracing Canada, embracing Mexico, embracing the EU, and jointly go to China, which is, to me, the biggest abuser on this, and, have a coalition and discuss and negotiate with China.
Bring all of the allies together and pile on China.
Attacking everybody is just going to push everyone towards the China side of these trade negotiations, and I think that's the mistake.
Stephen Gallagher and Kyle Isakower, thank you. I love this discussion. We're going to have both of you back because this is a story that will continue, no doubt. Thank you very much.